Good morning. Welcome to the Gold Breakfast Show with Maggie and Hossan.
Okay, you can call it by any name. In Malay, you call it yupalang. Some people call it very endangered nowadays. So let's talk about shark conservation. Just a couple of minutes. When you go for these really big dinners, usually what happens is they'll wheel out, the best dishes that they have. And nowadays, you notice that there are some couples who say, no, we don't want this at the table. And the young couples are the ones who are open to the idea. But sometimes, from what we understand, it's a matter of saving face and saying, no, you must have it.
Also, it's a matter of a bit, I guess, showing off a bit as well when the father and mother says, how come you all never order this for your wedding dinner?
Yeah, the history behind it is long time ago.
During my time. No, even
further
before my time.
Even before the postman used to wear shorts. This is long time ago.
Before there were postmen.
Yes, before there were letters even. So what happened was, this was actually ordered by the emperor. And
his court,
And his court. So one emperor. It wasn't as though you had several million people all eating the same thing. There's only one. But now there's a reversal where you have several million people. And really, the numbers are dwindling to the day we eventually could have just one.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about shark's fin soup. And in the studio with us, we have got a filmmaker, documentary person, who's a bit nervous right now, Jonn Lu in the studio. Hi, Jonn.
Morning, John.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, John's
I'm
here.
extremely nervous.
Yeah, no, relax, because look at Maggie can already. Yeah.
Okay, if you've been on I think was it YouTube, or where is it that we're seeing all these?
Well, we have the website called sharksavers.org.
Okay, all right. And you would probably see some very well-known names all throwing their support behind this and pledging, of course, that they're not going to have shark's fin. It's probably a battle that, or at least a challenge to try and get more and more people to understand all about conservation. So we're going to get into it in just a while. And what is the choice that you're going to make is really going to affect in the future, near future.
Yeah.
We're not talking far future.
It's quite near future, actually, right, John? What's happening right now around the world? We're talking about shark conservation, and we're trying to tell people, say no to shark's fin soup. How is this journey for you? How did it all begin?
It began a year ago when I signed up as a volunteer with Shark Savers. And I think the basic idea back then was Shark Savers did not have an Asian branch, and it was based in Hong Kong. And so the conversation began there. I asked, why don't you have anything happening in Southeast Asia?
Okay.
And they replied saying, we'd love to have somebody pushing the agenda in Asia. We just don't have anyone there.
Okay.
So
that's when John stepped up and said, I'll do the job.
Yes, I'm here.
Wow.
I'll do it.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, the buzzword is sustainability.
Yeah.
So what does that mean besides just going green?
Oh boy, it's a very big buzzword, and as far as I know, no one has been able to define it definitively, conclusively. It is a constantly evolving and growing theoretical construct, very much like Justin Bieber. I'm just kidding. But sustainability is really more than just going green. As a concept, it means things can keep going. It's the capacity to endure, to support, to provide for the future. Sustainability for our planet means that it can continue to do what it was designed to do, which is to provide fresh air, clean water, produce food, and allow all of us to enjoy a certain quality of life.
So, maybe let's just tie that in now. Sustainability and, saying no to shark's fin soup. What's the link there?
Well, I think the link is this. When you discuss the topics of things or issues that's unsustainable, it means that our planet can no longer endure, support, and provide for into the future.
Sure.
And this is the tipping point that we're frightfully close to right now.
And there's some numbers, right, that are quite scary, which...
Hossan and I were talking about it in taxi, and I nearly jumped out of my seat. I hadn't realized that, this was where Singapore was ranked. So I tell you what, we'll get into the numbers in just a while. We'll also talk about this other buzzword that's going around, this term, responsible consumerism. Now, what exactly is responsible consumerism, and where do you, that's right, you right now in the car, where do you figure in this entire formula? So the details on that coming right up. Say no to sharks, and we'll give you a website as well. Shark's fin, sorry. Say no to shark's fin. We'll give you a website that you can visit and maybe introduce your friends as well. Okay, it's coming up here on Gold 90 FM.
Remember the hotline to call is 6255-8455.
Okay, this morning we're joined by a guy who's been dedicating the past 1 year of his life because he took up, the task of being a representative in Asia to try and push to educate more and more people about learning to say no. Because just borrowing a term, if the buying stops, then the killing will stop too. I mean, you've probably seen the documentaries as to how the shark's fin eventually gets to the table.
Yeah.
So a lot of people these days actually are saying no to having shark's fin, at dinners. But we're hoping that perhaps more and more people will say no, and they would say no faster.
Yeah.
as
So,
well.
so John, what are the numbers like, especially in terms of where Singapore stands on a list in terms of shark's fin? How much we consume, our trading, and stuff like that.
Oh dear. I don't have the specific numbers, but this is as much as I know. Singapore, with such a small land mass and population, is the second largest global shark fin trade center.
Second.
Wow, that's
Hong Kong is number one.
huge.
Wow. Okay.
So like thousands and thousands of fins go through our ports.
Yeah, and I think
Wow.
to just give you guys, an inkling as to how big this problem is. Every year, between 73 to 100 million sharks are caught and processed each year, and it's largely to feed the Chinese demand for shark fin soup. And by Chinese, I mean Chinese people, not just on the mainland, but those in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, those in Sydney, LA, San Francisco, New York, Toronto, Vancouver, Mozambique, Timbuktu, because Chinese people are everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Yes,
We
indeed.
are everywhere.
Okay, now this is term, that floats around the place. It's responsible consumerism. That's a phrase that a lot of people are using. But what does responsible consumerism really mean, John?
Okay, I think it's a key concept within the broader construct of sustainability. In simple terms, it means thinking about and considering the impact you have on the world around you through the things that you buy and consume. This idea has very wide application, drawing from determinants like ethics, ideas of human and labor rights, fair trade, carbon footprint, etc. In the context of what we're talking about, it's really about consumer power. As consumers, we power the world's economies. We spin the demand engine that drives the supply wheel. Every time we buy something, we're casting dollar votes for more of that product. So if we buy cheap shoes from a company that exploits child labor in Cambodia, we endorse that company and how they're making money. So if we pay for and eat shark fin soup, we're telling fisheries that it's okay to keep catching and finning sharks to extinction.
All right.
So then, how do we go about then doing, shark conservation? How would we make that first step?
Okay, in my mind, I think there are three simple steps. The first step is actually a big step, and it's admission that we are in big trouble. And I think, like alcoholics, we have to confront the question and to stop being in denial. And we need a sense of urgency to deal with the problem. That's step one. And then step two, I think it would be to understand what that problem is, learning the dynamics of it, and learning and knowing that the dynamics will help us to solve and fix the problem. Step three, the final step, is actually to set forth, go out, and fix the problem.
All right. So basically, just say no. I mean, it's an easy step to say no. I've been to dinners where when they bring around the soup and I just push it away, so I'm not interested. And everybody else at the table looks at me, but I'm like, no. First of all, I don't understand. I don't understand the concept of the soup, and basically it's like, no, I just choose not to. So I'm happy to report that the girls at home as well, because they see mom do it, then they say, okay, no, not unless there's mushroom soup, we want that, and oils not. So
to break it down though, the shark's fin soup down to the basics, right? What is it exactly, John?
Well, shark fin soup is...
It's just a soup, right? The broth that's tasty, right? But the shark's fin does not really add anything to it.
Yeah. What makes the soup tasty is the broth, which is chicken, ham, scallops, just really, really good stuff. Shark fin itself is cartilage. It has no taste.
No taste. And then basically now shark meat apparently has a lot of toxins in it. And so if you eat it, especially for the guys, it causes impotence.
No, if you wanted toxins, you just go
Yeah.
into the office and find the most negative person that you have. That's enough toxins to last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
You don't need to be nibbling on any at all. Okay, so for anybody who right now, after having heard you, John, really, really wants to set forth and make a pledge or at least do something to help, where can they go to?
Okay. I think a first good step would be to learn more about it, to get more information. Before you can come to a conviction of your own, you need to have the right information.
Okay.
And so, you can search us on Facebook, Shark Savers Singapore.
Yeah.
Like our page, and there will be a lot of information there for you to digest.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right, well, great. Thank you very much. And John, we wish you all the best and luck, and we hope that more and more Singaporeans, or at least more and more people after hearing this, will pass the message on.
And take the pledge and say no to shark's fin
Mushroom
soup.
soup is very nice.
Yeah,
actually.
chicken soup is so good.
Very much
Yeah.
nicer. 9:34.
Sedap.
Oh!
You see the beads of sweat.
Thank you.
So funny.
Is it okay?
I'm nervous. I can hear it. I'm trying to get your attention.
Call it.